What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Joe's Madness. We are here live with the UFC 214, the prelims, with Renato Moicano versus Brian T. City Ortega. And this is my live streaming full fight commentary, play-by-play breakdown, reaction of the fight. And they just, introduced them, and it is going to be crazy as Ortega, he is perfect, and so is Renato. Brian Ortega is 11-0 with one no contest, and Renato is 11-0 with a draw. So somebody's O's got to go. I really hope we don't have a draw on this fight. This is going to be awesome. And already they're throwing some strikes at each other. Renato gets a body strike with the left by Ortega. Ortega coming in at him. Ortega with a nice left hand. Renato answers back with his own left. Ortega in the blue. Oh, Ortega comes in with a combination. Then Renato answered back with several strikes to the dome piece of Ortega. I am going with Ortega in this fight as I picked him in my prediction video. Oh, right hands by Renato. Man, these guys are blasting each other with several strikes. Jesus. Mad punches to the head. A leg kick by Renato. Renato with a left hand. I feel like Renato is the bigger man, kind of. Oh, a vicious right hand that rocked the jaw of Renato. Renato's moving around a lot. An uppercut by Ortega. And Renato swinging with lefts and rights, but those punches don't really look like they have a lot behind them from Renato at the moment. Oh, he blasts him. He blasts Ortega with a right hand. Then he followed up with a combination after Ortega went with lefts and rights. They're both in the center of the octagon right now. Ooh, Renato blasting him with some nice strikes. Ortega with a left and then a right blocked. Ortega coming in there. He eats a left hand by Renato. Renato tries to go for a takedown. Gets pushed off by Ortega. Misses a overhand right. Ortega ends up getting a body strike. Ooh, Ortega hits him with a right hand and then blocks Renato's counter strikes. A leg kick by Renato. Oh, they're saying an eye poke. The referee wasn't going to stop it, but Renato was wiping at his eye and stuff. Ortega was being respectful and didn't do nothing. And Renato's grabbing blood off his nose and throwing it on the ground. And they're getting ready to go back at it. He punched him. Yeah, slight eye poke. Wasn't a huge eye poke, but he like a punch in the face, and he was trying to push his head back, and he ended up, oh, okay, now they're back to throwing action. A lot of heavy hands thrown by Renato. Renato blasting away at him. More strikes by this dude. If you're new to the channel, make sure to punch that subscribe button into submission and slap that like button. What am I doing? Slap that like button like a pimp if you enjoy this video, and make sure to let me know what you think in the comment section as well. Let me know if you guys want me to start putting the comment section in the videos, as I figured out how to do that. But when I did that in other videos, nobody commented at all, so I don't know. But what up, everybody? Thanks for watching and listening. You guys are all amazing. Combat Sports is awesome. And Ortega lands a nice little left hand, onto Renato. Renato hits an uppercut, hits a left hand. Ooh, a vicious right hand by Ortega that snaps the head of Renato. Some of these punches are just out of range from each other, and they're also moving around ducking. Both throwing heavy volume in this contest so far. Ortega hits him in the forehead. Renato's nose is bloodied. We've got a bloody fight, but it's not a bloody mess, as blood isn't dripping and pouring all over the place. Ortega was going to do something. Oh, Ortega with a right hand, and he ends up eating a right as well. Renato snapping off some vicious strikes in this one with a minute to go in the first round. Renato with another right hand and then a left. They're both rocking each other with lefts and rights. Ooh, man. Ortega with a nice left that makes Renato more bloody, but Renato throwing several strikes. And Ortega just eating him. Wow, that was a vicious strike by Renato with a right hand and then a straight left down the pike, down Ortega's face. Miss with some leg kicks blocked by Ortega. Ortega closing the distance, coming in on Renato. Renato goes with lefts and rights as we have 10 seconds to go in the round. Ortega coming in at him. He does a flying knee, and that looked like that grazed Renato a little bit, but didn't have him dazed and confused. Ooh, wow. So many fights, so much action, so nuts. Now, I didn't think this one, I know both guys are really tough, and there's a reason why neither one of them have actually lost a fight, and somebody's always going to go tonight. But I kind of felt that this could end up being ended in the first round, but it didn't. I'm more feeling that we're going to see a takedown now that we've got a lot of strikes, a lot of feeling out process here in the first round. I feel that we're going to end up seeing a takedown and hopefully a submission to end this fight in the second round, and I feel that it's going to be Ortega. So that was a really difficult round to score, to be honest. It's very difficult. I'm not sure how to really score that one. I feel that the volume by Renato may edge him out that round. I felt that Ortega had more significant power strikes than Renato, but Renato had a lot more strikes landed in that round from what it looked like. So I kind of got to give that round to Renato, even though I wanted to give it to Ortega. So now they are starting back up. Ooh, a head kick by Renato to Ortega, and he shakes it off like, nope. That was a fucking nasty head kick, man. That was like celery cracking by the noise of it. Ortega has a sick chin to stay standing up by that kick. He eats a leg kick and then a left by Renato. Renato coming out with some heavy hands. Going with flurry lefts and rights and then to the body and then back up top. Misses a head kick. Ortega really hasn't done much so far in the first minute of this round. He might be a little glazed still from that one. I do gold currency. Gold currency. Oh, is that curry or currency? I think it's currency. I just do commentary. I don't show the fights. The FXX has it, and then there are places that have it as well. The Renato's saying another eye poke, but they're not calling a timeout. The referee didn't see it, so they're still fighting. A left hand by Ortega. Ortega eats some strikes. Ortega comes in on him heavy. Ortega eating several strikes. He's getting rocked, and he's shaking him off. Eats a head kick, and Renato pushes Ortega away, as Ortega may have gone in for a takedown attempt. Not really sure. He hits him with an elbow to the face. Moicano is throwing a lot of strikes and landing a lot on Ortega. Ortega hasn't been able to pull much together in the second round. Very surprised. I know that head kick may have changed the name of the game and be given this fight to Renato. Oh, Ortega lands a left and a vicious right hand to the jaw of Renato. Renato is kind of now still. He's standing in the center of the octagon, just right in front of Ortega. Ortega moving his hands in there, hits him with an uppercut and hits him with a right. Moicano throws some strikes, and then we end up having a spinning elbow by Ortega. Ortega coming in at him with lefts and rights. Moicano landing several strikes on the head of Ortega. Man, this guy has a head like a Terminator. He's just eating strikes over and over again. And Moicano was just lighting him up with mad strikes. He hit him with lefts and rights and uppercuts, and this kid keeps on going, and he misses those strikes. Ortega trying to get in on him, and he's trying to come in after him. Ortega putting pressure on him, chasing him down, puts his hands down for a moment. Ortega ends up eating a right hand by Moicano. Moicano is standing in the center of the octagon with Ortega. Lefts and rights by Ortega landed. Ooh, an uppercut followed by a right hand by Ortega. Ortega trying to get those uppercuts in there in his combinations. He hits him with a right hand. Then Moicano hits him with lefts and rights and just keeps on hitting him with left after left. And he's just standing in there in the pocket. Ortega goes for a body strike with 1:05 to go. Moicano eats another uppercut to the body this time, though. Man, this is nuts. Ooh, lefts and rights to the body, and then up top by Ortega. Moicano hits him with a right hand again to the head. Moicano chasing after the head over and over again. The guys taking turns beating on each other's bodies. Ortega misses a liver strike, I think, or was that for the kidney? Oh, he goes and hits him in the liver-ish area. I think that's the liver on the right side? Or the left side, I don't know. Oh, strikes landed by Ortega as Moicano's taking some time off, it seems. Oh, another left hand by Ortega. Ortega going for the body again. Ortega coming after him. Ortega, oh, he trips him, and Renato ends up taking him down as Ortega went for a little kick, and Moicano just kind of walked into that takedown. That was very awkward. Weird. So Moicano ends up on top of him in the guard, and we are going to a third round. Again, 3 fights in a row, 4 fights in a row, and 3 rounds. Man, what is going on? I got to give that round to Moicano. I feel he's up 2 rounds to none. And then Moicano, who moved that away from me? Somebody moved that. I had that over here, and somebody moved it away. I got to give that. What is this? I got to give that round to Moicano over Ortega because he got that takedown at the very end, but also had a high volume and strikes. Even though Ortega did hit him and rock him and get him a little dazed a couple of times, but it wasn't enough to, in my mind, really give him the round, So now we're going to a third and final round. Somebody's O's got to go. Somebody going to get TKO'd. Somebody going to get knocked out. Somebody going to get taken down and submitted, tapped out, put to sleep. What is going to happen here in the third and final round with Brian T-City Ortega and Renato Moicano? Oh, Ortega. Man, these guys are throwing heavy hands. Ortega comes out first, and then Moicano comes out, and then they're both at the same time striking each other with lefts and rights. Moicano went for a head kick. Man, he hits him with a right hand. So is Ortega bloody now? There's blood on Ortega's chest. I think he might have a cut over on the side of his right eye. A leg kick by Moicano. Ortega going for a takedown, got stuffed, gets up and goes for a head kick onto Moicano. He hits Moicano with a left. Moicano hits him with a combination. Then Ortega hits him with a left, and he's chasing him down. Moicano with lefts and a right. Uppercut by T-City Ortega. A body strike and a right. Ortega body strikes adding up in this fight for sure. He's taking the fight to Moicano. He's got him with a right hand. Moicano with a right and then followed up with a left. Then a right. And now T-City is landing some left hands. Throwing a high volume, left after left by Moicano. Ortega coming in with a flurry, hitting him in the head, hitting him in the body, going to the head. And Moicano's coming in. T-City faked a takedown and did a spinning elbow. Here he comes. Ortega putting pressure on Moicano. He's coming after him. putting his hands out there and then throwing a strike and snapping him. Oh, a right hand, and then followed up by a left by Moicano. T-City lands a couple of right hands, and Moicano hits him with a left. Overhand right blocked by Moicano. An uppercut by T-City with a right hand followed for right to the dome piece cranium of Moicano by Ortega. Ortega goes for a takedown, stuffed again by Moicano. I am shocked that T-City has not been able to take down Moicano. I know Moicano's defense is really good on the takedown, but I thought that Ortega would be able to get him eventually. And now Ortega and Moicano throwing strikes. Moicano getting a vicious flurry on him, cracked him with a vicious right hand, followed with a left. T-City chasing him down, hits him with a left and a right. Moicano's running away from him, gave him his back for a second, but then he turned around, and Ortega and Moicano are in the center of the cage, kind of doing a test of strength for a moment. Oh, and then they crack each other with rights to the face. Moicano goes for a takedown. T-City goes for a guillotine choke, and now he's got a guillotine choke attempt on to... Oh, and he taps out! Moicano taps out! His O is gone! Brian T-City Ortega wins this one by submission when Renato Moicano goes for a takedown on Brian T-City. Oh my god, he should have just stayed standing up with him. Wow. Oh my god, I can't believe it. He went for a takedown, and he got his neck caught, and he got caught, and he got hung out to dry in a guillotine chokehold by Brian T-City Ortega. What a beautiful submission win and comeback for Brian T-City Ortega to go to a perfect 12-0, if I remember correctly, with his record. Yeah, now he goes to 12-0 with one no contest, and Renato Moicano falls to 11-1-1 with his first submission loss and first loss ever in his pro MMA career. What an awesome win by T-City. Brian T-City Ortega does it in epic fashion. I called for a second round submission victory and my prediction, but he got it in the third round. Brian T-City Ortega, baby. That was a beautiful submission chokehold by T-City Ortega, man. Wow. Man, that is crazy. Holy shit. Man. Like, they fucking punched each other over and over again like rock'em sock'em robots. Just bam, 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 bam. And then eventually he goes for a takedown and he gets choked out. When he got the takedown, he got choked out by going for the takedown. Crazy. So we'll be back in a few minutes. We'll, hold up. Thanks, Chris Daru. Is it Daru? Is it Da? Is it just Da, or is it Daru? So yeah, that was a fucking beautiful submission, man. T-City, you cannot go to the ground with him. You know, it's gonna take a badass submission artist to end up giving that guy his first submission loss. T-City is just a fucking beast. The guy's awesome. Who should fight T-City? Brian Ortega. Who should Brian Ortega fight next in the UFC in the featherweight division, as he just knocked off the number 9 ranked on the UFC website? I will be soon. I'm working on creating a website. It'll be going live soon, and I'll be having different things where you guys can vote on, and where we, you know, as an MMA community in combat sports, put together different, you know, ranking systems and whatnot. I'm going to have different ones, and I'll be having videos to explain the ranking system and why it's like that, why I have 2 tiers and so forth for weight classes and whatnot. But man, T-City, what a beautiful victory. You know, I'm glad that helped you out a lot. So far, I've gotten every fight right, but this is the first finish I got correct with my predictions. I picked Ortega to win by submission in the second round. I picked Calvin to win. Oh, it just updated. So let's go to... Nope. What's going on? Why? Okay. Well, first I picked Dauber to win by submission, but he won by knockout. over Berkman, and then I picked Brooks to submit Shelton, but he won by decision. Then I picked Al Bull to win by submission, but she won by decision. Then I picked Calvin to win by KO TKO, and he won by decision. And then I picked Ortega to win this one by submission, and he did it in the third round, even though I picked it in the second round. I'm going for, I picked Brow to win, I picked Knight to win, Volkan, Ozdemir to win, Lawler to win, Evinger to win in an upset, Maya to win, and Cormier to win. I know a lot of people don't think that that's what's going to happen. A lot of people were probably surprised by a lot of my picks, but it is what it is. I like to go sometimes on to an extreme and pick something that people would not expect to happen. You know what I mean? So a wins are wins regardless. That is true, Chris Daru. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. Going to take a quick break. We have up Aljamain Sterling versus Renan Barão next, I believe, is the next fight, and that one is going to be sick in the catch weight and as a 140 catch weight. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to take a moment and slap that like button like a pimp. Share the video with your family and friends, and punch that subscribe button into submission here at Joe's Madness. Thanks for watching. Combat Sports is awesome. You guys are amazing, and we'll be back in a couple minutes right around the time the next fight starts up.